Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series as we are here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a very important track to all racing history, and we get to see the drivers here for Pit Road take it on here. This is a very unique track. It is a 2.5 mile oval, but kind of not really. It's just a rectangle, and in my opinion, this is what the shape is, but even though it's four corners, pretty much all bank the same, pretty much all look the same, they do not drive the same. They are all unique in their own little way, and you make one little mistake on them, it's going to get a little hairy out there. You can go too wide on newer tires when it's nice and fresh out there, but once the race kind of settles in there, you don't really want to be on that outside and getting those marbles, or you're going to have a bad time. Carl Hammer joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, here at Indianapolis, and we got some pre-race festivities set up as usual, so why don't we go ahead and kick it off with our national anthems.
Yeah, pre-race festivities like each and every week. Stand by for the anthems.
National anthems for Canada and the United States. Unfortunately, no Ken Bice here tonight, so we're not going to have our invocation here tonight, but we do have a third member of the broadcast booth to get us going here tonight. Dealing with a little bit of flu this week, but he said, you know what, Michael Jordan can play through the flu and have one of the best games of his career. I can call these drivers to the start line here. So we're going to go ahead and turn it over to our third member of the broadcast booth, my son Colton, for tonight's Driver Start Your Engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
That is time to go, Jimmy. We've got our call to the grid. We've got our qualifying all done and wrapped up. 22 drivers here on tap for 55 laps. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's starting order?
Yeah, quick rundown of tonight's starting order. It's going to be filled with 22 drivers, starting with, on the pole, Dylan Emerson. Where the heck's my mouse? Dylan Emerson will take the pole here tonight. Here we go. And then Dylan Jacobs on the outside. Matthew Hake was there in the top 3 as well, with Thomas O'Connor on the outside. Kyle Emerson starts in 5th with Devin Black in 6th. Cody Brewer starts in 7th with Harry Krantz in 8th. TJ Hanley starting in 9th tonight with Tiffany Ellis in the top 10. Bernie Reyes starting in 11th with Joshua Smith in 12th. Richard Covington Jr. in 13th. Michael Garcia in 14th. Kelly Akron in 15th. Bruce Spencer starts in 16th tonight. Charlie Stafford in 17th. Will O'Connor in 18th. Brian Roy in 19th. Benjamin Smith in 20th. Cody Handler starts the evening here in 21st. And Austin Wells in 22nd.
Pretty good sized field out here, and we have plenty of time as they're going to be taking a full lap around here for their pace lap. So we'll take some time. We'll take a look at the point standings here for the season, and so far through. Excuse me, I have trouble clearing my throat here, but so far we're through 6 races here of the 13 regular season races. So this will be race number 7. And it is TJ Hanley on top of the boards with his 2 wins. Dylan Emerson, Thomas O'Connor for your top 3. Dylan Jacobs, Josh Duncan for the top 5. Then you got Kyle Emerson. He's got 1 win in 6th place. Harry Krantz, Matthew Hake for the top 8. Richard Covington Jr. with his 1 win in 9th. And then Cody Brewer rounds out the top 10. As a reminder, after we get through these 13 regular season races, it's going to be a round of 12 playoffs. So looking down at the rest of the order, Chase Bullard, Brian Roy, currently your top 12 drivers here for the season. Tiffany Ellis right there just outside the bubble by 2 points, and William O'Connor below the bubble by 8 points. So a lot to play out here tonight, and with a 22 car field, anything can happen. You have, if you have a mishap by some of the drivers inside at that top 12, that spot can go by the wayside very quickly. And you got Brian Roy right now just inside that cut line, but starting back there in 19th. Still plenty of racing left in the regular season, as again, this is only about halfway through, but every race matters, every race counts, and especially if you can get up there, get that win, lock yourself in, it'd be plenty big, but not easy to do here at Indianapolis. Jimmy, I mentioned, these corners are really different. I mean, it's all shaped the same, all pretty much banked the same, but they don't all handle the same.
No, I mean, if you look up on the screen, our oval is kind of boxy. It's almost like 4 straightaways, or some ovals don't even have a straightaway. This one has 4, even as small as they are. But each of them transition differently into each one. But it's not getting overconfident with the car, and kind of treat this almost like a flat, I don't want to call it a flatless track, almost like a short track. With some high-speed capabilities, because you do need those runs out of those corners. You do need to protect your tires, and to be able to survive for the longer run. I am getting word we're gonna have maybe 2 to 3 pit stops here tonight, more than likely. So hopefully these drivers can run it out from start to finish. Pace cars in as they work their way down the long front stretch to get this thing started. Yeah,
one of those tracks that has a long walk to the start finish line, but Barney now waving that green flag for the first time tonight. We're racing here at IMS.
Yeah, down they go here as the 6 of Dylan Emerson works that bottom groove, but you can see the outside holding stout here early on. There's a 5 of Dylan Jacobs that works that outside for the lead here, but the 13 of Matthew Hake getting a good view of that battle, and right behind him is it's battle stirring up as everybody's trying to find their way here tonight early on and get positions. But it does look like, looking back from the 13, that everybody's starting to kind of single file just a little bit. But let me see when they hit the corners, everybody's looking for that better angle to what fits to their driving style. Because like I said, it is pretty flat here tonight, not much banking in these corners, and it does become pretty difficult, and these tires can take a beating trying to send these cars down in. But when I take a look up here up front, actually in towards the middle here, as we're with Devin Black, going down through these corners.
Yeah, the 51 certainly running a different line through turn 3, and then even there through turn 1 a little bit high, and had to back out of it a little bit because that corner or the wall will catch up to you very quickly if you're not paying attention. But some new paint schemes on some of the cars out there. I know Matthew Hake running a new paint scheme there with the Sprite machine. Don't really see a Sprite car too often, but good looking paint scheme out there once again. I'm pretty sure, I believe, done by TJ, the resident painter here for sure, and Pit Road Speed Limit. But it's certainly a good-looking car out there. But the 6 out front here, once again, we take a look back here at some 3-wide racing, and looks like the 81 getting a little bit sideways. A really good save there from Austin Wells. Going to cost him quite a few positions, and slides back, not going to lose a draft as well. But could have been our first caution, and could have been some major damage there if he didn't save it. But looks like Bruce Spencer maybe in the 43 having some issues as well. I'm seeing that Bruce crash, and on the front stretch gets together with the 20 of Kelly Akron and had to save it all the way down to turn 1. Gets into the wall. Somehow it's not going to be a caution here, as he's going to get it back going, get it back rolling. Going to be way behind even Austin Wells, but we're going to keep it green here at Indy.
A couple close calls there early on as they chase Dylan Emerson around. Obviously, he's blinking, so remind me not to click on Dylan too often. It's definitely, it's hard to get around here, and you can find yourself going around here. And we talked a little bit early in the season about how difficult it is to collect these next-gen cars, Carl, and there's kind of a prime example where one person was able to catch it and another person was not. So, tough break there for those drivers as they lose some time and spots on the track, maybe hoping for a caution to come out and to get those spots back. But it does look like Tiffany Ellis going for a move here on a number 51.
Actually, it looks like, I apologize, it looks like Matthew Hake did the paint scheme himself, and a pretty good looking paint scheme as it is. But yeah, I mean, not for lack of trying for Bruce Spencer. He tried to save it about 6 or 7 times after getting together with Kelly Akron, but just ultimately couldn't save it and tagged the wall going into turn number 1. But we're going to keep this thing going and green. As I mentioned, Dylan Emerson in the lead, Dylan Jacobs, Thomas O'Connor, Matthew Hake, Cody Brewer for your top 5, then Kyle Emerson, TJ Hanley, Harry Krantz, Tiffany Ellis, and Devin Black for your top 10. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as it's always fun to come back here to Indy, a place I've been able to visit 3 or 4 times, and it's a massive facility. I mean, I've been to 2 NASCAR tracks, both 2.5 miles, and I mean, you go to Pocono, it's certainly one of those, and Jimmy, I know you know this from living up here as well, that it's kind of nothing. You're driving on a long straight road. It's basically driving through the woods, through the Long Pond area, and then all of a sudden there's a clearing and there's a massive track with Pocono. And Indy, it's not necessarily the same. It's a little bit more, kind of city-ish, but I mean, when you get there, you go in, at least at the gates that we used to go into, you go into the gates and it looks like just a regular kind of size track, but it's absolutely massive, because you don't realize, at least the gates that we went into were in one of the short chutes, so it just looks like a short little straightaway, because it is compared to the rest of the track. But I mean, the place is massive, and anytime you go there, you definitely got to go to the infield. You can walk in there for nothing. That doesn't cost you anything to get into the infield area where the museum is. Absolutely 100% worth a visit to take a look at all the old memorabilia and all the old cars that have been here, both with NASCAR, IndyCar. I mean, it's a whole experience coming out here to Indy. But looks like Austin Wells, another incident, and Jimmy, you mentioned he saved the last one. This was not a save here from Austin Wells. That was heavy impact. Going to walk away with a meatball on this one, and maybe have to walk himself into the infield care center.
Yeah, that car just snapped. Obviously losing it to the rear end coming around and trying to make that correction, and then it caught into the wall he goes. So it's really hard to catch these cars, and you really gotta feel that feel the car, feel that weight transfer of these cars, and when you're getting on the gas, and obviously, you don't need the most expensive equipment to race, but some of the stuff that's been around or has some of the finer details, it can help you catch some things. Oh, and you get the 11. And the 8 getting together.
And 2 more really good saves here from both these drivers after getting together. It's not easy saving these next gen cars, so great job by both those drivers right there. We're going to take a look at some point, Jimmy, for Amanda out there. It looks like Brian Roy's paint scheme is on there for their great niece, and certainly no surprise as the paint scheme is bluey, and certainly I'm sure a lot of nieces appreciate the bluey paint scheme out there, and I know my daughter, if she were awake, she would love it just as much as well in the 82. So good looking paint scheme there for Brian Roy.
Yeah, it's a lot of people run cars for their kids, and or they let them pick them out if you're running them each and every week and trying to get out here, and it's just one way that you can kind of get your kids involved. Obviously, they can't sit in your lap with some of the equipment if you're trying to win, but you try to maybe one day they could take your spot and be better than you anyway. So that might not be a bad thing, but right now it's just a good way to kind of show that that whoever's driving cares about whoever selected the paint, and whether it's somebody that painted it or they thought of something, or we've had stuff from like this here with Bluey to to if somebody passed away, or to raise awareness for cancer. All kinds of good things come from some of the liveries, and it's just good to see people change it up. It does make it a little challenging sometimes up in here in the booth, and the biggest thing is all I ask is just make sure your number stays the same. That's when it becomes a little more difficult.
Number on the car. Yeah, yep. Well, it looks like I think on the 28 there, Charlie Stafford. I think he's got a little throwback to maybe our time when it comes to cartoons. If we get a chance to take a look at the 28 right there, I'm sure you'll notice that pretty much right away. Yeah, that's a little Beavis and Butthead action on that one. So we appreciate that. That's definitely a throwback for us here. But yeah, I don't run the next gen cars that often myself, but the paint scheme that I have on there was picked up from my daughter, and it's the reason I have a Barbie paint scheme for my next gen car. But yeah, they enjoy it. I usually I'll go on there if I got a race coming up or something like that. I'll pick out 4 or 5 different paint schemes on training paints. I'm like, all right, which one of these do you like? Have me narrow it down. And yeah, I think I was running a blue paint scheme at one point, and then she's seen I think I had a Hello Kitty for one of my cars. I got Barbie for this next gen car. So yeah, it's great. But either way, our race here tonight, we got Dylan Emerson checking out here a little bit, 2-second lead here at the front, which can happen at Indy. I mean, as much drafting as there is at the front of this field, or not the front of this field, throughout the field, you can get some drafting in, but you can also have cars check out, and that's what we're seeing here now. 1.8 seconds for Dylan Emerson out front. Little battle here, 2-car battle for second and third place between Dylan Jacobs and Thomas O'Connor, and then you got another 2 seconds back to Cody Brewer, who kind of leads the next little charge. He's got Matthew Hake, Kyle Emerson, TJ Hanley, and Harry Krantz, and another 1.4 seconds back to Timothy Ellis, and a little bit of a gap again back to Devin Black, rounding out your top 10, about 1 second behind as well. But the field a little bit scraped up here for some of the cars, and some of them had to take through the grass, some of them out in the wall, but still caution free as we're here already 11 laps into this thing. It's ticking by here pretty quickly, and maybe within the next 5 laps or so, we'll be seeing those first pit stops. But we do have a yellow flag right on cue. I apologize, broadcaster's curse in full effect here. And it looks like it's going to involve TJ Hanley and Matthew Hake on this one. We'll take a look back and see what happened.
Yeah, I'll take a look to see what happens. You can see the Sprite car off on the road, and comes back up right there in front. A few cars getting involved.
I have to rewind it back and see what got the 13 out of shape to begin with. If it was little Sprite on the tires. I got him a little bit little zesty already.
He's already going
Maybe
there.
maybe a little bit wide out of the corner. Yeah, it looks like maybe a little bit wide out of the corner. Tries to keep it off the wall. Actually, already there, it looks like he's kind of fighting it out to the outside.
Trying to save it.
Yep, a little bit of a bobble, a little bit of a wobble, and unfortunately, a big old smack to the side of TJ Hanley. I think the 11 there of Harry Kronz maybe getting a little piece as well, as he's definitely had some moving and shaking here in the beginning. But it's going to bring out our first caution, and here 12 laps in, I'm sure some of these drivers don't mind making a green flag pit stop here at all. This as it looks like Matthew Hake maybe just trying to cool down the tires, Jimmy.
Okay, we need to make sure we can take that turn, get in the pits.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Y'all didn't see that? No, they ain't checking on me. Sorry. And Matt,
I mean, there's a little green on that car, but you're not going to blend into the grass. We can still see you out there, Matthew. But yeah, I mean, this pit stall or the pit entry here, it's not difficult if you're just looking at it. It's okay. You come out of turn 4, it's a straight shot into the pits. But the fact that those cones are so far back there, you come out of that corner with so much speed. And if it's your first time pitting here at Indy, you expect those cones to be far enough into pit lane that you can take it just about wide open coming out of the corner there and not have any kind of issues. But you almost got to start getting on the brakes as soon as you get out of the corner, because those cones come up very quickly.
Yeah, it's a unique entry, and I'm sure some of the drivers that aren't familiar here with Indy, that they welcome that, and you see some of the cars missing pit stops and backing up, jockeying around. I think
It's under caution.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's under caution. You're gonna lose too much time. You're gonna lose some spots on track for sure. There's a lot of cars going to come in and out, and you can see a swap for the lead here. It does look like Harry Kronz is going to get out up 7 spots. So whatever Harry Kronz did, just
I'm kind of confused.
Decimated,
what he did.
Yeah, decimated the pit stops here. But back, going green here as they're coming up on out of the corner here. You can see them still down on the inside there.
He actually pit on lap number 12, lap before this. So he's going to get the probably the EOL here to send him back towards the back of the pack, because I was going to say his pit stop was 2 seconds longer than just about everybody in the field. I have no idea how he picked up that many positions. He came in the pit stop the lap before, involved in the incident there. But it's going to shuffle back around. It's going to be Dylan Jacobs out front now. Cody Brewer in second. Dylan Emerson's going to drop to third, so we'll see how that 6 can handle himself in some dirty air here to start. Kyle Emerson, Devin Black for your top 5. Then you got Tiffany Ellis, Richard Covington Jr., Joshua Smith, Charlie Stafford, and Brian Roy now for your top 10. As we got some big movers there. The Blue Machine up 9 spots now into 10th. Charlie Stafford is up 8 spots. Richard Covington Jr. up 6 spots. Some big movers right there. Certainly Matthew Hake would like to turn it around here after getting involved in that incident. He's down 11 spots. Thomas O'Connor back there in 16th, down 12 spots. And then TJ Hanley involved in that incident as well. Looks like he's still in the pits coming out right now. We'll see if he stays on the lead lap. He's back in 19th, down 10 spots. Looks like he will stay on the lead lap here. But he's going to have quite a run to catch back up to the field to get back out there, as I'm not sure actually if he did get out before the field came on by.
Yeah, I know he's making way, past, as they're right now they're just in the short chute between 1 and 2, and you see a bunch of cars up on the track map making their way down the backstretch, trying to make it all the way around. They should be good. This track's long enough where they can get around here, but obviously you gotta keep the heads up, and by the time they get to the back, they'll be slowing down for just a second and then have to get going again. But we've seen it, Carl, where people have pushed to get back to the back of the pack and wreck. It's been a while now, but that has happened. Kind of like caution under caution, I guess. But trying to get back up there to get up with your lead mates. But yeah, we're gonna go here shortly. But I think it was like almost perfect timing. They were probably looking at pit stops anyways between between 14 and probably 17, 18 laps, depending on how well they could save fuel in tires here. So I'm curious to see if everybody took tires. I would imagine so. They do feel good. New tires feel great here. As you can see, there's not very much banking here at Indy. This track's more designed for the Indy cars. They definitely run really well here, but as of for a while now, the NASCAR has been coming here and putting on a show and bringing all the race fans out here, putting on a great sport. So, but right now we're getting ready to go back to green. Pace cars in as Dylan Jacobs leads them down to the start-finish line.
The field just going to get caught up together to get this green flag, and that's what we're going to have right now as we drop the hammer here once again at Indy Racing here, completing lap 15 as we're down to 40 laps to go, but that's plenty of time here at Indianapolis. So we'll see if these drivers get back to racing here, or if they maybe want to settle back in here and have a good little run here once again.
It does look like they're single file back up front. We'll go back through the field here. Hop on with Mike Garcia, but you see him ducking down to the inside there of, I think that was Thomas O'Connor, to work his way into Pete, number 14. Biggest mover of the race right now, though, is going to be that number 21 of Richard Covington Jr., moving up into the top 5, up 8 spots. So we'll make that Brian Roy is up 9 spots in P number 10.
If I can make one request, if we can get the relative on there instead of the fastest lap, as man, they're just spreading out all over the place here. I thought we were watching a racer or an auto club racer for a second. There were so many different lines going into the corner there, but going to somewhat settle back in, heading into the corners here. But side by side here for a lot of the spots from the back half of the top 10 on back. And it is Dylan Emerson making his way back to the front. Certainly seems like he's got eyes on a win here tonight, and he would love to get his second win of the season, maybe retake that lead in the points from TJ Hanley. But he's got plenty of other cars out here that are very well as well. Cody Brewer right now seems to be biggest contender, currently in second place, but he's already starting to fall back 0.6 of a second from Dylan Emerson. Seems like when that 6 gets to the front, it loves it some clean air.
Yeah, clean air is huge here. It's obviously plays a big part of being able to turn down in the corner. You take that air away from the front, it gets dirty and it gets real tight, and it's hard to rotate, and you end up backing off, and it's why you see cars being able to pull away. So if a driver with not quite the experience knows how to handle the dirty air, that's what happens. They end up falling back until their car becomes clean, and then you'll see that that kind of gap kind of either maintain or spread out just a little bit. But Cody Brewer trying to knock on the door there of Dylan Emerson here on lap number 19, trying to get things done here with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I think a little bit more tamed restart, even though it didn't seem like it with all the different lines that these drivers were taking, but a lot less incidents compared to the previous one that we seen here to start the race, and seen a few cars going through the grass and a few even up into the walls, and surprised we didn't have an earlier caution. But yeah, certainly a timely caution, as Jimmy mentioned, given the pit window. Still a little bit sideways there. Nothing to see here once again for the 76er Joshua Smith. Just gonna need a change of shorts once he comes back in for his next pit stop. But either way, good restart here for majority of the field. You see most of them spread out here, or it's just a single file, maybe not spread out, but good restart here. And Indy, again, it looks very unmenacing, or not menacing, whatever it is. It doesn't look like that difficult of a track, but it certainly can be. You see right there, the 76.
Right into the
11. Fly. Hard, heavy impact there for the 11 of Harry Krantz. He's going to get involved in another one here.
Goodness.
76 right there. Out of turn number 2, just couldn't hang on to it. And Harry Krantz going to have to pull it into the pits.
Yeah, you can just see right there. You can see him losing control. The 11 takes the full brunt of that, bounces off the wall like a ping pong.
That's not the full brunt. This is a full brunt right here. I mean, this was heavy impact.
Oh, he's flying in the air, does a 360 before he gets to the track.
Throwing parts out there across the track as well. And I don't believe he got hit again. I think he was at least able to, get back to the outside wall here. And you see the 19 right there. Able to sneak on by, or because I did see some cars coming up on him, but Cody Handler was able to get around him. This is certainly going to help drivers like. Maybe there was some incidents
that
there.
Was a 64.
Yeah, the 64 trying to avoid him.
Yeah, 64 on Mike Garcia goes for a ride. Caution here at lap 20 as things heat up at the Indianapolis Speedway, but it is going to put some of those drivers in the pits. Hopefully they have fast repairs to get their cars fixed and back out on the track here to join up with their league mates. 22 cars on the track. It does look like we have 17 still on the lead lap, and your leader is currently Dylan Emerson over Cody Brewer. Kyle Emerson sitting in third. Richard Covington Jr. is up in the top 5 in 4th. Devin Black reaches P number 5. Tiffany Ellis gaining way here tonight in P number 6 now. Dylan Jacobs down a few spots in P number 7. Charlie Stafford in 8th, up 9 spots. Matthew Hake down a few spots in 9th. Bernie Reyes up in 10th. Thomas O'Connor in 11th. And you can see everybody coming down to top off for fuel. Question.
Yeah, I would think at least top off for fuel. Here's the 8 there. TJ Hanley going to stay out. He's going to get the lucky dog and get himself back on the lead lap. I believe he should be the lucky dog. And then it looks like Austin Wells is going to stay out there to collect a wave around, but I'm not seeing. Actually, it looks like the 81 is actually going to be the one that gets the wave around. So I never understand sometimes how the wave arounds are the lucky dogs work. Because it's supposed to be the driver that is the furthest up there, one lap down or more. But if they get involved in an incident, clearly I get it. They're not going to get the wave around the lucky dog. But here I would have swore that TJ Hanley was the highest running driver, one lap down, but he's not going to get the lucky dog. He's going to have to get the wave around, which is okay. He still gets back on the lead lap, but here the 81, if he wants to, can come into the pits. TJ Hanley, if he wants to take that wave around, will not be allowed to come into pit lane. You see right there, the 81 going to slow up and bring it into pit lane. So Hanley's going to need basically another caution to kind of get him back on the same cycle, the same pit strategy as everybody else. But either way, I'm sure he's just happy to get back on the lead lap this quickly.
Yeah, it's hard to go down, and sometimes, if you go down too far, you can find yourself going down multiple laps, but in the right spot, the right time, for the correct reason here this time by. And obviously TJ, having a pretty good season so far, and now dealing with some obstacles here early on at Indianapolis. Devin Black is going to be your leader when this all goes down, as he started up there towards the front. He started in P number 6 now, and we'll take that top spot with Bernie Reyes in P number 2, up 9 spots. Dylan Emerson is going to be back in 3rd. Cody Brewer back in 4th. Then Matthew Hake, Richard Covington Jr., Kyle Emerson back in 7th. Tiffany Ellis still in top 10 and 8th. Dylan Jacobs back in 9th, and Charlie Stafford for your top 10.
Well, Devin Black looks like electing to take maybe 2 tires here on the 51, 11-second pit stop for him. Bernie Reyes, I believe, just fuel only here, so taking some track position here on this caution flag. These drivers have unlimited tires here in the series for pit road speed limit racing, but just some of them taking some different strategies to get some track position to get up there. So now, once again, Dylan Emerson's going to have to restart in 3rd, but didn't take him too long last time to get to the lead. I'm sure we'll see that 6 make some moves here quickly once again. But either way, we're going to get this thing back restarted pretty much right at the halfway point here. Still going to see at least one more pit stop in this race, regardless if we go green or not. So still plenty of racing and plenty of things to decide, but I want to thank you for tuning in tonight here. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that we have to offer here at CRN, as we have the second half for a double hitter here with Pit Road Speed Limit after getting done with CSRL. And then tomorrow night we have one more with the Virtual Velocity Racing Series, as they're going to be at Kentucky tomorrow night. But we're going to get this thing back on our way. Devin Black is going to be your control car.
Yeah, Devin Black will lead them off as we'll move around. But right now they're working through the field, just trying to hop on board with everybody, see how they're doing. You can see some drivers trying to warm up them to new cold tires, and they got to remember that, you know, obviously cold tires can be a little tricky no matter what car you are in, and it does take usually about a lap or a lap and a half most places to get them pretty much up to temperature where you can start really doing what you need to do with the vehicles. But 51 is going to lead them down around here now, coming through turns number 4. That pace car will be looking to come in here very shortly and get this thing started to begin lap number 24.
Pace car is in. It'll be in control here by the 51 once he gets into the restart zone. And we are back to racing here at IMS. Good restart from the 51 here on the inside. The 6 of Emerson is going to follow suit as well to the inside and should easily be able to take second place away. But a good battle here on the outside is actually going to keep Emerson in third for the time being. Good run there from Bernie Reyes, and maybe the lighter fuel, or well, not the lighter fuel. He did come in for fuel as well. So, yeah, no tires for the 27, but good enough to hold off the 6 for the time being. And now here comes the 13. Matthew Hake maybe trying to pinch that 6 in there, but he's gonna have to fall back in line. The 12 of Cody Brewer thought about coming up there as well, close off the corner, and now Hake thought about 3 wide there for a second, but he's going to dive to the inside here of Reyes. Going to make the pass off of turn 4 as Reyes blinks out here a little bit, but he's back. Meanwhile, Devin Black out front. Those 2 tires certainly paying off, out to a 1 second lead already, just about out of drafting range. But I have a feeling that 6, now with a little bit of clean air, is going to try and run him right down.
Yeah, I mean, the 6 always have been running good here tonight, trying to, and, you know, if he knows that maybe the other car, Devin Black, maybe he's going to push too hard and burn up them tires. I mean, there's plenty of racing remaining here, Carl, and obviously the drivers are out there, and they got unlimited tires. So another caution, obviously, just get new tires as long as everybody comes in. But, you know, there might be somebody out there that decides to, you know, just take rights or, you know, take a little bit less fuel, whatever it may take to gain position on the track. This track can be tricky to pass on. You know, most of the passes you do see are usually entering in 1 and 3 to make a pass. Pretty much through the corners, it's usually pretty solid. But occasionally you'll get somebody going down to the inside. But on the battlefield right now, still mid-pack here. Looks like everybody's still in the red. From P number 7 all the way back to P16 as they follow each other around in a Congo line, waiting for some of these laps to kind of tick on by and get this thing closer to the end. But Devin Black is your leader in number 51. But Dylan Emerson, Matthew Hake, Cody Brewer, and Richard Covington are your top 5.
Oh, the 21 or the 27 there, Bernie Reyes into the wall. But looks like he's going to be able to survive, going to lose some more spots. He keeps running that outside, kind of stuck out there. And it looks like with the 18 maybe got that a wall as well. Now looking to go with the inside, maybe 3 wide down the front stretch, but it's not advisable. He's going to fall back in line and just try to get to the inside here of Reyes and keep Reyes on the outside, who could finally pull down to the inside and hopefully defend here a little bit. But we're past the halfway point here tonight on lap number 27 right now. So Jimmy, why don't we go ahead and turn it away here for a little bit. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Get a little love to hear, and a shout out to Kathy and Amanda and Barry and
Lisa.
And Lisa. that have talked so far here tonight in the chat. It's good to see everybody out there. Love when you guys continue to come back and support your drivers out there. They'll love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here from the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, Next Gen Series here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as we're on a good little run right now. Dylan Emerson has retaken the lead back from Devin Black, who's now under fire from Cody Brewer for second place. Seen a couple of drivers, TJ Hanley and Kyle Emerson, have to make their pit stops early here because they got the wave around, and they're probably in line to make at least one more pit stop with everyone else. So really hoping to see a caution to get to the end here. But we're seeing now Devin Black was your leader for a little bit here. Now he's going to bring the 51 in. About 20 laps from the finish. Seems like a pretty decent long run. I think it's a little bit outside the window right now. We'll see when these other cars come in. We did see Bernie Reyes join him in the pits as well. But right now, Dylan Emerson, Cody Brewer, Matthew Hake, Richard Covington, and Dylan Jacobs for your top 5. Tiffany Ellis, Thomas O'Connor, Charlie Stafford, Joshua Smith, and Will O'Connor for your top 10.
Yeah, Carl, only about 15 laps there before they came in. They were last in at lap 21 and then pitting there on lap 25. So only 14 laps. It almost feels like they're missing some fuel in them cars here tonight. But Dylan Emerson out there getting things done and working his way around the track. And I guess the one thing about pitting here, because the track is so long, you could possibly stay on the lead lap though. But you can see right now, here comes the 6 of Dylan Emerson as he exits the pits. That long pit exit as the 6 car makes his way by the head down the backstretch.
So the 51 going to go down a lap here, trying to feed back in here and at least get some draft to kind of hang out with the field, as he's got some fresh tires. Should be able to easily hang with the rest of the field now, as he was out there holding on with some used tires and working out pretty well. But right now, Dylan Emerson enjoying a 2.5 second lead, now even further, actually going to go out to a 3-second lead, because Cody Brewer, Richard Covington, Tiffany Ellis all hitting pit lane.
Yeah, there's a few drivers right now. They are saving up front. I heard some lifting there from, I think it was Cody.
Speaking of lifting. Speaking of lifting. Good save there from the 5. Dylan Jacobs right on board with him.
And that's the part that always scared me, Carl, when trying to clutch in and then letting release the clutch, or shutting your motor off, and really coasting it. It was always dangerous to get it fired back up because of that right there, where you see the rear end start kind of where you had to catch it. So yeah, definitely a tough call there for the 5. Got to really stay on top of their game there if they're trying to save fuel. But a lot of drivers doing what they need to do. Dylan Emerson coming down in the pits right now. Dylan Jacobs coming down in the pits. Thomas O'Connor, Charlie Stafford. So a lot of drivers coming down in the pits here to what might be the final pit stop. Still have 17 laps to go, Carl. This could be at the edge of making it the rest of the way. But they will probably end up not being out there, saving. So maybe somebody out there isn't saving. But right now, everybody is bent in, with the exception of Matthew Hake there in number 13. And that Sprite machine trying to get things done here tonight. Maybe try to get a win. But yeah, pit entry and stalls are lively and well here tonight. And we're getting out here for some of the final laps as we wind down here at Indianapolis, as Matthew Hake pulls it in here leading. Gonna give it up to Dylan Emerson, or back to Dylan Emerson, Dylan Jacobs, Cody Brewer, Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington Jr.
Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer. But yes, a black flag for Charlie Stafford. Looks like it was on exit, so he's going to have to come back in and serve a drive-through, and that is going to be very, very costly here. And I mean, it's costly, but you get a caution flag and you're kind of right back with the field as well. But either way, you're going to need a caution flag now. And we're looking at Matthew Hake here trying to get his service done as quick as possible. But Dylan Emerson is bearing down on him, looking to regain this lead as 13 down and away, but coming down into turn number 1 is the number 6, and right there you see him go by in a flash. He's got a sizable lead right now. Looks like about 2, almost 3 seconds over Cody Brewer.
By the time the 12 gets out that long pit lane, might find himself back a little bit farther, but it does look like Cody's back out on the main track and only 3 seconds back, so made me look like a liar. Did he cut the short or something?
Cody's out there. No, that was Matthew Hake. That was in the pits.
Oh, okay.
So Matthew Hake is back out there in 5th place right now after the pit cycle. I still feel like it's going to be a little bit outside the window for some of these drivers to make it all the way to the end. We'll see how it plays out, certainly, but I mean we're down to 15 laps to go here. It doesn't look like anybody has the speed for Dylan Emerson. He seems like he's just on another level here tonight. I mean, you know, we've seen some drivers just grab the bull by the horns for some of these races this season, and they just seem to be the dominant car, and it's going to be tough to beat him. We've seen Thomas O'Connor be tough in his win. TJ Hanley's got 2 wins here on the season, but certainly some early mishaps tonight. Maybe have him kind of behind the 8 ball. He's up there right now in 7th. Kyle Emerson up there in 6th, but both of them will for sure need another pit stop before this thing is over. But meanwhile, Dylan Emerson trying to get away fast to try and get his 2nd win of the season.
Yeah, trying to walk away there with that 6. Obviously been very fast all night long, and definitely looks like one of Dylan's favorite tracks to kind of get out here and run like this, to kind of do what he wants with the car. I mean, he's got a huge, lead here over P number 2, Cody Brewer. That's up 5 spots, and Dylan Jacobs back there for your top 3. But there's quite a little battle back there. Richard Covington Jr., Matthew Hake involved as well, along with Kyle Emerson. So they got their hands full here for the that last and final podium spot, Carl.
Yeah, it's a pretty good battle for sure. Dylan Jacobs, Richard Covington, Matthew Hake, and Kyle Emerson right there, and even TJ Hanley is there right now. But again, as mentioned, he's going to have to come in to make his pit stop. Now, if everything cycles out the way it very well could, maybe TJ Hanley and Kyle Emerson will still be in line for a chance at a top 5, since I believe everybody's going to have to pit yet for the entire field here. But either way, been a good run and a good green flag run here for these drivers, and finally got to see a green flag pit stop here tonight. And I think only Charlie Stafford had the issues there with the penalty. Unfortunately, down a lap right now to the field, so he's going to need some major help to get back into the mix of this thing. But it's tough to beat the 6 here tonight of Dylan Emerson.
Guys, a quick one here, that's for sure. Turned on some pretty good laps, a couple tenths faster than the rest. Now stretching the lead over Cody Brewer even more. It's only 13 laps to go, so right around 10 minutes or so are still remaining out there for Cody Brewer to muster up whatever he's got to try to catch that 6 here. As he's got 5 spots, he could get up to 6. For his moves, Richard Covington Jr. being the biggest mover, up 8 spots. Currently in P number 5.
Emerson, Devin Black into the pits here, and this will be their final stop of the race as we're down to 12 laps to go. We'll see when TJ Hanley decides to come in. I would think he's going to come in here in these next couple laps as well. But down and away, looks like fuel only there for the 51 of Devin Black. Kyle Emerson elected to take tires on the 60. They would love to see a caution flag. TJ would love to see a caution flag. He doesn't want to get involved in that caution flag, though, as that got very close. It's like Kyle Emerson off track here. Not sure if it was just an excursion through the grass or if he had some kind of incident. Looks like we're going to stay caution free, so we'll take a look and see what happened here to the 60. and just
They forgot which way pit lane was.
Not about going backwards on the road course, but decides that to go back onto the pit lane exit there for a second. And I mean, Jimmy, you said before you got to practice pit stops, even the exits.
Even the exit part. It's important to know how much throttle you can get to get out there. But you can see that 21 really pushing that car pretty strong here, as well as he took a little bounce off the wall. Where is the 21? So, Richard Covington Jr. There he is. He's up in the top 5. So, don't ruin it, Richard, with the wall thing. Because I don't know if OtterBox really has full coverage on a NASCAR.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think a lot of these drivers are going to need some full medical coverage from the beatdown right now that Dylan Emerson is putting on. And I mean, we said you can check out here if you're a faster car and you can figure it out at Indianapolis. But doing a fantastic job right now up front. It seems like he's on the right strategy right now. And even if a caution were to come out, I think he's still sitting pretty here. He's been back in traffic a couple times, only been as far back as 3rd place, but it's been looked pretty good here. TJ Hanley now moves up into 3rd place, and man, what a caution would do for the 8 right now. It's certainly going to be a shame that he's going to have to pull off and make a pit stop here, I think, pretty soon. Still wondering if anyone else or everyone else will need to come in and make one more pit stop. As taking a look at it, it's been about 16 laps since TJ Hanley came into the pits. Some of your leaders last pit on lap number 38, 39. So it's maybe going to be close for them to make it. As you mentioned, Jimmy, they could very well stretch this thing out, especially if they're saving.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to make it that far. I don't know. Obviously, we're in suspense here, but it does look like, TJ's going to come down right now. Relinquish Pete, number 3, as your points leader, down into the pits now here for a splash and go. Just to answer KP TV there, iRating, obviously, it varies, depending on when the drivers get into league racing, but they range anywhere between 900 all the way up to, I think, 2,000, yeah. So it's more of a junior, set of people as far as iRating goes, but we've had some great racing from Pit Road Speed Limit Racing here the whole season, and they continue to put on some great shows for the level of expertise that they have out there for sure, and it's good. They're a lot of fun to watch. To see the choices that they make. Dylan Emerson out there doing a fantastic job again here tonight on the pole, trying to get another win. Matthew Hake up a spot. Dylan Jacobs up there as well. Richard Covington Jr. letting go number 4 now into the pits here for what should be his last splash and go. Let's talk about Will O'Connor. I haven't talked about him much all night. He's been eluding my mouse click, I guess, but up in the 5th place here. Up 13 spots, and along with Brian Roy in the Blue Machine as they battle back and forth here in the top 10. So those two doing a fantastic job, along with Cody Handler has been quiet as well in that number 19.
Taking a look at some of these drivers, as you mentioned, Richard Covington into the pits now. Cody Brewer has made his pit stop on lap number 45. He's down and out and in 8th place right now. Highest running driver that we know for sure can make it to the end of this race. Looks like trying to see what TJ Hanley right behind him there in 9th place now, moving up. Devin Black already made his pit stop. He's in 10th place. Richard Covington in 11th. But here comes Brian Roy now from 6th place, and a penalty coming in. Jimmy, the Blue Machine, a little bit frisky coming in, and he's going to have a 40-second time hold. Cody Handler going to come in right behind him as well. So again, these drivers are some that pit on lap number 38, 39. We're coming up to 5 laps to go. Does anybody have enough to save it all the way to the end? It's going to be sketchy, going to be close, but it's a shame there for Brian Roy, as this is going to cost him a very good finishing position.
Yeah, it's obviously unfortunate, and it's, you know, you're trying to get everything you got coming into the pits and make things happen and make sure you get that great finish, and just by a couple feet, you know, if you didn't apply enough brake pressure or you hit the brakes too hard and the car slid and you're still going too fast, it doesn't count either. So yeah, tough break there for Royce. Will have to serve that penalty, pushing him farther back in the field. So wish him maybe a caution come out, get him caught back up. I don't know. We're going to need a little bit of help there for the number 82 here tonight, as he's fallen all the way back to 19th place. But Dylan Emerson leads the way over Matthew Hake in the Sprite machine. That's in front of Dylan Jacobs. No real big battles on the track at the moment until you go back here around Devin Black trying to run down the number 21 of Richard Covington.
I'm ticking down here, 5 laps to go. Does Dylan Emerson have enough fuel to get to the end? Is lead certainly shrinking here a little bit. It's down to 2.3 seconds right now, so maybe in fuel save mode for the 6. Matthew Hake has run that lead down here a little bit, currently in second place. Dylan Jacobs is another 8.8 seconds behind, and I feel like a big gap like that tells me it's a little bit of fuel saving going on right there as well. And the 5 team, the 18 of Thomas O'Connor there in 4th, is another 4 seconds back. Will O'Connor in the top 5, but again, Cody Brewer right there in 6th place right now. Would love to see that top 5 move on into pit lane, because he's, you know, he would have the short pit right now and maybe be able to pick off a few of these positions. That time still coming down, now down to 2.1 seconds in front for Dylan Emerson. Is it too little too late, or can he sneak this thing to the end? 3 laps to go.
He's trying to get this thing done. Obviously, you got a decent lead here, 2 seconds with only 3 laps to go. Can give up about a second a lap. A lot of coasting here, and obviously not too much threat from the other drivers. Matthew Hake might have a little bit more fuel though, as he came in 1 lap later. So how much fuel does Matthew Hake have to catch up to Dylan Emerson, and to see that dominant speed here tonight at Indy go away by a pit strategy? Sometimes it's like a sucker punch, but it's all part of racing, and that's what they're doing out there, trying to get this thing to the end. Only 2 laps to go. Dylan Emerson is your leader over Matthew Hake. Dylan Jacobs in 3rd. Thomas O'Connor sits in 4th. Will O'Connor for your top 5. Cody Brewer, the one that pit the latest there, sitting in 6th. Would love to see all 5 of those drivers need to come in or run out of fuel, whatever it may be. TJ Hanley sitting in 7th. Richard Covington in 8th. Devin Black, Kyle Emerson for your top 10.
Laps to go here for Dylan Emerson. It's down to 1.5 seconds off of turn number 4. Gonna see the white flag waving over the bricks here. 1 more lap to go. 2.5 miles for Dylan Emerson. You see him letting that 76 go by. He's trying to coast this thing. The lead is down to 1 second. Matthew Hake on the charge. Dylan Emerson has been the fastest car all night, but it doesn't matter how fast you are if you got no fuel in that pickup line. You see the 13 maybe overdriving it here a little bit, going to lose a little bit of time off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch here, Dylan Emerson still got a 1.4 second lead now into turn 3 and 4. But you see it just absolutely drop once they get into the corner. The 13 overdriving it here, holds onto it through turn number 3, but that might be enough. Dylan Emerson off of turn number 4. Just got to limp it home from here, as he is slowing. It's down to 1.5, but he's going to be able to make it to the yard of bricks and get the checkered flag here tonight. Dylan Emerson, your winner. Matthew Hake going to come home in 2nd. Now the battle for 3rd coming off of the corner. Thomas O'Connor to the outside. A big block there from Dylan Jacobs, running out of fuel. They're going to wreck to the line. Sideways, it's going to be Thomas O'Connor sliding it sideways across the line. Dylan Jacobs going to come home in 4th. Will O'Connor makes up the top 5. Fuel strategy certainly played a big part here tonight Cody Brewer going to come home in 6th place. TJ Hanley, all things considered, I think he'd probably be happy with the 7th place after everything that happened here tonight, but probably a little disappointed just as well. Richard Covington going to come home in 8th. Devin Black, Kyle Emerson rounding out your top 10, but what a finish here tonight.
Yeah, one heck of a finish. Obviously, the fuel coming into play and a big block there at the end to wrap things up there for your top 4 or 5. But yeah, it's a great run here by all the drivers as they finish out here. We'll give y'all a quick snapshot of where everybody's at. Let me get things out of the way here as I'll empty everything and drop the ticker. Here is the race results for tonight. Winning tonight's race at Indianapolis after 55 laps is going to be the number 6 of Dylan Emerson. Matthew Hake there in P number 2. Thomas O'Connor in 3rd. Dylan Jacobs will finish in 4th with Will O'Connor in 5th. Cody Brewer in 6th. TJ Hanley finishing in 7th. Richard Covington Jr. in 8th. Devin Black in 9th. Kyle Emerson for your top 10. Tiffany Ellis finishes in 11th. Joshua Smith in 12th. Bernie Reyes back there in 13th. Bruce Spencer in 14th. Cody Handler in 15th. Austin Wells finishes in 16th. Kelly Akron in 17th, and then Brian Roy finishing back in 18th. Hey, he's still up a spot, whether he had to come in or not. He still finished 1 spot up before he started. Harry Krantz in 19th, Charlie Stafford in 20th, and 21st is going to be Michael Garcia, and then Benjamin Smith rounding out your 22-car field here tonight.
Yeah, shout out to all the fans out there, Kelly. See you out there as well. And yeah, I know you had a rough one on Tuesday night, and unfortunately got penalized because of it. But yeah, it definitely. We take the I rating with a grain of salt, whether it's here in league racing or even when we get over into like the special events that me and Jimmy run with the 24-hour races. There's so many times where we get in and you start seeing a driver's lap times and like there's no way he's only a 1400 I rating when he's throwing laps for 2 seconds faster than everybody else. So it goes both ways when it comes to the I rating. But thanking everyone out there that tuned in here tonight. Again, hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But let's get to our top 3 finishers here tonight. 3rd place is going to go to the number 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Thomas involved in a little block party there on the front stretch, but you end up busting through, sliding sideways across the yard of bricks to get yourself a podium here tonight.
Yeah, I had it coming. Yes, last week I gave Dylan Jacobs a dirty block, and we both agreed that I had it coming. I'll be honest, I thought I was racing both him and Cody Handler for the podium, and after I crossed the start-finish line with, I don't know, like a lap and a half, I started going. I was like, shoot, I got to get going. But I made it. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I finally did. I was going like 50% for the last 5-6 laps. I was 50% throttle.
Yeah, it's not very often that we see a fuel mileage race at Indianapolis, and we were kind of keeping our eyes on it. We had an idea what the fuel window would be, but man, I mean, coming down to the end, there was I think 5 of you that were trying to milk that thing all the way to the end, and it was a heck of a battle. But I mean, coming into that final lap there, did you see the time kind of ticking down there to Dylan Jacobs? Did you feel like you had a chance get that white flag?
No, not at all.
Said, oh no. Oh no.
No,
not just no.
Chance.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, no.
That's funny. It's exactly probably what you were saying coming down the front stretch when you got that block.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, okay, am I gonna I thought I was done for because I thought I was battling, like I said, Cody and Dylan. So I was like, I was trying my hardest, but no, unfortunately, my race ended that first caution, or that was it a caution or the first pit stop. I ran past my pit stall, had to back up, and then I was too far left, and then I lost every position. I was in 3rd. I went in 3rd, ended up like 17th. So it was a nasty race to get back up to the front. But Dylan and Matt was who me and him were in the same group chat, and I was rooting for him, but there was no way I was catching those leaders. Those leaders were gone. They had rocket ships.
Well, listen, it was a good thing that that Dylan Jacobs threw an air ball up there on the front stretch and allowed you to sneak on by. But either way, congrats again on the podium here tonight. Who do you want to send a shout out to or thanks to?
Everybody, this was a great race. These are fun. I mean, I'm so excited we finally brought Indy into the league, and I'm stoked for when we get to Pocono. I think fuel mileage tracks are my favorite. It really shows who's paying attention. And even there, I mean, I kind of messed up. I was racing so hard to get back towards the front. By the time that I was going into the pits, I'd say 3 laps before that, that's when I kind of realized, oh shoot, I need to stop downshifting so much because I'm burning fuel. Because these are the tracks that you have to pay attention from almost quarter way through that race. You have to pay attention to what your lap times are, how much fuel you got, what are you looking at throughout the whole track. But the league did great today. That's who I think. I mean, I think everybody did an amazing job keeping their heads on straight, working together. And I think this is going to open their eyes to what, this is what puts you to the next level. These types of tracks, learning from them. What did I do wrong? Studying these type of things. But I appreciate everybody. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I can't wait. I keep telling our league, I can't wait for the next league on league battle race. What would be fun is if we did like a 24-hour, 12-hour race. That would be fun against all the leagues. That'd be exhausting, but it would be a lot of fun. But I thank you guys so much.
Well, we would like to, absence makes the heart grow fonder. We like to try and keep it at 6 month intervals to really build up the anticipation. And clearly, it worked this last time with 60 drivers out there. It was insane.
Oh yeah.
But either way, once again, congrats on the top 3 finish here tonight. Thank you for the shout outs as well. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
All right, have a good one, guys.
You too. That is the 18 of Thomas O'Connor, sliding it home in 3rd place here tonight, quite literally. 2nd place here tonight. Heck of a run here at the end. Just couldn't run him down to 13 of Matthew Hake.
Hey,
how's it going, guys?
Hey, Matt, welcome to the booth. There's obviously a 55-lap challenge here at Indianapolis Speedway, and you're able to get it done here with some great speed. And that number 13 Sprite machine here tonight, and finished in 2nd behind Dylan. Dylan seemed to be on his own track here tonight by himself, really kind of leading the way, even if he fell back a little bit. But great run there by the 13. Give us a little rundown of how everything went for you out there in the car.
Oh, it started off all right until I got into the wall, got a little wheel damage, which made me spin. But then I kind of just gritted my teeth and tried to get back through the field. And on the one pit stop, I took the 2 tires and just stayed up there. So,
well, you're able to bounce back and keep it going here. I mean, this is one of the more difficult tracks that can be out there, and is kind of deceiving. Obviously you think big track, a lot, and the draft is going to be huge, but those corners really kind of put a dampener in things.
oh yeah, it does. It's a lot of fun though once you get down the track down and get around it. So.
Yeah, you guys definitely look like you're having a lot of fun out there. There's a couple people trying to save the car out there and didn't quite it didn't work. And iRacing being iRacing, don't throw the yellow flag for them. And I'm sure that hurts their feelings as well. Those were a little early on, but you did a great job here tonight, man. So we want to say congratulations, especially from us up here in the booth and all the fans out there watching, and give you a little time for any shouts you might have in that number 13.
I'll start off with Sprite, Gap, Coca-Cola, Oyo, and Chick-fil-A. All the new sponsors on my car for this week. Everybody was kind of getting on me for running nothing but Chase Elliott schemes, so I made my own scheme for this week. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Well,
first time I'm in the broadcast booth this season, so
it's always good to get people up here and share their experience out on the track, and out there, and you took it to heart. You went out there and you got a Sprite machine now, and got some sponsors, and getting involved with the league. So all good things happening for the 13. Hopefully this isn't your only visit here to the booth as we got a few more
Hopefully
races this season. So look forward to talking to you again. But again, congratulations on your great finish here at Indianapolis, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 13 of Matthew Hake. Top spot here tonight. It was the dominant car here for sure tonight. The pole sitter led a ton of laps here. Dylan Emerson. Dylan, you definitely had the car to beat out here tonight, and I don't think there was anything that was going to stop you, except if that fuel stopped running into the car here at the end.
Yeah, it stopped on the backstretch after I took the checkered flag. But I started saving pretty much right after I made my final stop, and I looked down at how many laps were left. I'm like, yeah, I only got to save like a lap and a half. I think we're good here.
Yeah,
I was good to go with 5 to go.
It was definitely right on the border there for some of the drivers, and looking at it, we could definitely see you saving, especially there at the end, and just trying to kind of limp this thing home, and knowing that Matthew Hake put a lap after you had that extra bit of fuel in there, you can see him running you down. But at what point were you kind of looking in your mirror worried about that, or were you just trying to worry about that fuel and let me just make this thing to the end, whatever happens?
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. I was more minding the gap to him. I was just like, yeah, I'll run. I don't want him to get within a second and a half because then he's going to get my draft. So I was just trying to keep it at that 2 to 2.5 second mark. And I was just having fun that last run. Just chilling.
It certainly looked like it, but it didn't. You overdrove a couple of the corners, or you maybe would have gotten up there within you, but and maybe some lap cars kind of helped you out with the drafting as well. But I mean, what was it about Indy that just really clicked with you here tonight? Is it attracted you enjoy, or was it just the setup and everything kind of worked tonight?
So before Gateway became our home track, because it didn't have a cup race for so long. It was either Kansas or Indy was the home track, and I just kind of called them both home tracks. So this was just one that I really enjoy because it feels like a home track.
Well, a little home cooking certainly worked out for you here tonight. So congrats again on second win of the season, and with TJ Hanley finishing back there in 7th, very good chance that you're taking over the points lead as well. So congrats on the accomplishment here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just thank you guys. Appreciate all you do for us, and it's fun having you guys every week.
Well, it's certainly fun watching you guys do battle out there. We'll see what you guys got in store for us next week, as I think it's going to be a little bit different as you guys head to the high banks, I believe, at Talladega. Nope. Looking at it wrong. It's actually Pocono next week. So another 2.5 mile track, but a little bit more of a road course type of oval as I consider it up there. What are your thoughts on Pocono? Do you think you can take it to them here once again?
I think so. They race about the same, so I'm pretty excited for it. I think we got a good chance to extend our port lead over TJ.
We certainly got at least one corner there at Pocono that's designed off of Indianapolis with turn number 2. So you'll at least get one corner, I'm sure, better than everybody else either way. Congrats on the win here once again. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Pocono.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. That's your winner here tonight, second win of the season, and I'm pretty sure your new points leader, the 6 of Dylan Emerson, looking to go back-to-back on the points titles as well, but a little bit different format this year with the playoffs. Certainly racking up some playoff bonus points with a second win here tonight, and a really dominating fashion, but it got a little bit hairy, a little bit sketchy there at the end. Whether he wants to put on a brave face or not, he could tell by that time clicking down there that I was getting a little tight there with Matthew Hake at the end, but either way, enough to get it done, enough to get across the line of bricks and get himself the victory here tonight. Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in to tonight's race. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that we have to offer here at CRN. Still got one more race here left in the week that's going to come up tomorrow night with Virtual Velocity Racing at Kentucky Speedway. But for myself and Jimmy from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.